Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Calabucas, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified when you get a new video 6 times a week. And if you're on a podcast service and you're listening on a podcast service, please hit that subscribe button and give us a mention on Apple Podcasts. I would greatly appreciate it. Sorry, I completely forgot what I was going to talk about, so I had to go check that, and sorry about that, Skip, because I like to record everything in real time. By the way, I don't think anybody commented on my new video camera. What do you guys think of my new video camera? Does it suck? Is it good? Anyway. So I talked in the past about low-hanging fruit, and I talked about how I hate the term low-hanging fruit because everybody uses the term low-hanging fruit, and it's always, oh, it's the easy stuff. Let's go after the easy stuff. Let's go after the easy stuff. And everybody's okay with going after the easy stuff. Nobody has a problem with low-hanging fruit. In fact, everybody loves low-hanging fruit because it's easy. It's easy. And human beings, that's what we're like. We like easy. We don't like doing anything difficult. We don't like doing anything hard. Oh, it's so hard. I hate doing it because it's hard. Here's the problem, though. The high-hanging fruit, the hard stuff, the stuff that takes work to get to, the stuff where you've got to pull out the ladder, you got to get somebody to brace it for you, where you've got to go to the very top where the high-value, high-risk stuff is. We never seem to get up there. We do the low-hanging fruit, and then we stop. What happens to the high-hanging fruit? Nobody gets up there and gets the high-hanging fruit. And you know why nobody goes up there to get the high-hanging fruit? It's too much of a risk. Because when you start looking up there for the high-hanging fruit, when you start looking at the high-hanging fruit, and you realize what you have to give up, what you have to change to get to the high-hanging fruit, that's when it gives you pause. It gives you pause because most likely that high-hanging fruit is up there for a reason, because it's extremely difficult to get to. You may need to change a lot to be able to get up there. You may need to have to change your processes. You may need to have to change your personnel. You may need to have to change your entire business to be able to get up to the high-hanging fruit. Plus, you're worried that if you do get up to the high-hanging fruit, it may not be that valuable after all. What am I going to get out of it? Is it going to help my company? Am I going to make millions of dollars out of it? Who knows? We don't know. We know it's going to be hard to get to, and we figure that it may be super profitable because it's high-hanging fruit that we've never touched before. But we don't know. We don't know. It's like when you do a patent valuation. If I come up with a great idea and I patent that idea, somebody says to me, well, how much is that idea valued? And I said, I don't know. It depends. It depends on what happens to the idea. Is there a market for the idea? Maybe nobody's looking at that idea now, but in 5-10 years, hundreds of thousands of companies will be using that exact same concept for something. Who knows? So we can't value it. We can't value the high-hanging fruit. We just know they're difficult to get to. And because human beings being what they are, we don't like things that are hard. We like doing the easy stuff. But once the easy stuff is done, what do you do next? You have to do the hard stuff. And it takes courage to do the hard stuff. And the question is, do you have the courage to do the hard stuff? Do you have the courage to fight through the fear that you might have getting through the hard stuff? Do you have the courage to discard what you need to discard in order to get to the high-hanging fruit? Can you give up what you have today to get to the stuff at the top of the tree? Do you have what it takes? Can you conquer the fear of the risk that you're going to need to take to get to that high-value stuff? That's what you got to ask yourself. I'm done with the low-hanging fruit. I'm only going after the high-hanging fruit. And if I go after the high-hanging fruit, what do I have to give up to get to that high-hanging fruit? What am I going to get out of it? That's what you think. That's what you think. It's like it's always a balance sheet. If I don't get that, if I'm not guaranteed that, I'll never go up there. But the problem is, that's where all the good stuff is. That's where human beings invented flight. Human beings invented the computer. Human beings invented the internet. It's the high-hanging fruit. That's where the good stuff is. The good stuff is up there. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.